Oh, yay! Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Hello, hello. I'm going to wait for Peter to come because we just got this wonderful postcard all the way from Cairns in Australia. So excited to read this and respond. As I said, feel free if you want to send me something live and write, or live in reality. I just talked about reality. If you want to send me something 3D in my P.O. box, hey Peter, you can send it to my P.O. box, amywalkeronline.com. We'll give it to you there. And then just write hashtag Thank You Thursday or write Thank You Thursday on it and I will open it live. Anything that does not have that, obviously, I don't open live, but I do respond to everything. So thank you for all of you who send me mail. It's my favorite. And I also do my best to get to the questions that you ask throughout the week. You can also email us on my website or at info@amywalkeronline.com if you have any questions for the Thursdays. Big, big thank you to all the Vibers out there. So, I don't like to say fans because I feel it seems like it diminishes you, and you are some of the most incredible people on this planet. And so I call you Vibers because we give vibes to positive things. We give positive vibes, and that means so much to me. So without further ado, I'm going to read this postcard. I'm going to show you one more time from Cairns for Thank You Thursdays. Hi, Amy. On cruise again. Wow, to Cairns. Whilst doing postcards, wanted to include you. Aww, cheers, thank you. Gosh, I feel special. They all think I'm crazy. Well, not me. Well, of course I am. Well, then sure, perspective. Having a great time. Wish you were here. Oh, sweet. I've never been on a cruise. Going scuba diving on Barrier Reef tomorrow. Wow, that sounds amazing. Port Douglas from Peter Burns. Aussie fan club president. Wow, okay. Vibers, vibers, vibers. Thank you so much. That's really, really sweet and very special, and there were stars on it. So sweet. Thank you, Peter. Aw, lots of love. Okay, so let me get to the questions that people asked. Let's see. How do I keep from putting myself down when I realize I'm not yet where I saw myself when I was a kid? Asks Abby, and she's 20. Hello in Tokyo! This is a great question. In fact, that video that I just did on that your perspective is your reality, that's a great one to help answer this question. Because that's that judgment place, and the other side of that is compassion. So number one, just going, okay, well, I had some goals, or I had some dreams, about where I would be at age 20, and that's not where I am right now. So one thing that can be really helpful that I talk about sometimes is separating the difference between structure, the form of something, and its content. So to look at those goals, and if they were specific, to look at, so maybe you wanted to be what are some goals for age 20? Maybe you wanted to be a famous actress by the time you were 20, and be married and have a sports car. So, okay, have a car, okay? So you wanted to have a car, then to look at, well, what are the qualities of having a car that were calling to you? Maybe freedom, maybe feeling like an adult, maybe being able to get around or not be dependent. But to list kind of what actually were those qualities, and to see you might already have some of those, or there might be other ways of having those qualities in your life that aren't a car. If a car isn't something that, there are ways that you can get a car, but if that's doesn't really fit into your life right now. You know, they're expensive, and maybe you live in a place that you don't even need a car. But to look at, well, what else is out there? Lyft is out there, Uber's out there. How can I experience that freedom, or how can I experience those qualities that I attached to a car? Well, a car isn't the only thing that can give you those qualities. It's one thing, it's a good thing. And maybe when you're looking at that, you go, no, it's really important to me to have a car. That's totally fine. Then you can maybe get some help to figure out how to do that. And there are lots of ways to do that. So it can be helpful to, if you know somebody who's really good with practical things, and if you can't afford it, you can see about getting a job, you know, or a higher paying job. There are lots of people who deal with practical things. What's his name? Well, just Google, like, financial, I think it's your total money makeover. I'm blanking on his name right now, but somebody probably knows it who's on. So there are things, if your needs are practical, you can just go check out a guru who knows a whole lot more and has great systems for that. Hopefully that's helpful. All right. Peter asks, so if you're vegan, does that mean no honey or eggs? No scrambled eggs on toast, just toast and butter? Wait, no butter? What is Morris going to do without butter? So, yeah, that's cute. It was a reference to my toast with butter short story. Morris is definitely not a vegan, but I am, and I do raw foods. And vegan does mean no animal products. And for many vegans, it also means no honey. For me, bees are really, really important to me. And the apiaries that I go to get, that I buy my honey from, bees are very important to them too, and they're bee advocates. And they only take the amount of honey that will be supportive to the bees, and they take really good care of them. So for me, I do eat raw honey because that's something that muscle tests really strong for me. It has lots of benefits. So for my particular body, that's a superfood, and so I support bees through that, but I don't have other animal products. So it's partly a dietary thing, it's partly, it's definitely an ethical thing, and it's the best thing you can do for the environment, which I've talked about in other, yeah, eggs are chickens, honey, so they come from chickens. So that would be classified under animal products. Somebody else asked, James, when did you decide to go vegetarian, then dairy-free, and now vegan? Great question. So when I was 11, I decided to go vegetarian. We were learning about the salmon in the local water system where I lived on an island in Washington State. And there used to be salmon who ran up this stream, you know, who lived in this stream, and there hadn't been for decades. And they taught us why environmentally, with dams and with deforestation and with trolling, and what the salmon have to go through to get back upstream to spawn, because they have to go back to the place they were born to spawn in order to have eggs, you know, lay their eggs and raise their young and die. So learning about that, I had compassion for those salmon. And I'd been thinking about it for a long time too, but there was a day in there when I decided that this is the day, and I became vegetarian. And then it was when I was in my early 20s living in New Zealand that I started to feel like maybe milk wasn't working with my body. And so I experimented with not having it. And for a while, yogurt worked well, and so I did yogurt. And then that wasn't working as well, but goat yogurt worked well, so I did that for a while, and then that just wasn't working. I used to take dairy pills, which you can do, but I thought, boy, why take pills for something that my body doesn't like when there are lots of things my body does like? And I mentioned in last week that I love to muscle test, so it was helpful to me if I'm confused about, is this going to be the most beneficial thing for my body? Is this the most beneficial thing for my body? Then I can muscle test, and it will tell me. Currently in college, and you're wanting to go vegan as a means of trying to become healthier. Do you think it is easy to make this happen, or should I wait until I'm free to pursue this? Love your vids. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you can just do it gradually. You can just have a little less see how you feel. And that was part of it for me too. You know, I ate eggs for a long time, but I started to notice that I wasn't, because I muscle test, I wasn't feeling like having them as often as I used to. And so I just wouldn't have them if I didn't feel like it. And then I was noticing, oh geez, these eggs have gone bad and I haven't eaten them all. So maybe I need to buy fewer. And then I stopped buying them. And then I still ate them sometimes. And, you know, it was just muscle testing. It was totally gradual. And for me, it was muscle testing to help me realize, oh, gluten isn't working and refined foods aren't working. And so I just focused on what was working, what is really beneficial for my body. So great. If Oreos work for you, then you can have those Oreos there. I didn't catch your name. It's so tiny on the little screen. For me, Oreos are not beneficial for my body because sugar and wheat and all of those other things are not beneficial. But each to their own. Madeline asked a long time ago, is a Utah accent a thing or are we general American? I haven't been to Utah, so I don't know. Let me know. You're vegetarian, though you avoid animal products besides milk. You love dairy too much, although you're vegan. Well, if you're eating dairy, you're probably not vegan then, because that does mean that it's no animal products. But you could say that you're egg-free. It doesn't really, I mean, they're just words. So whatever you feel is fine. But lactose intolerant. Oh, yeah. So you're taking, maybe you're taking some enzymes or something. Yeah, and honestly, you know, I did that for a while, and it's a totally personal thing. You could try some alternatives and just see how you feel. When you so there are lots of alternatives on the market. There are like some really good vegan cheeses now, if cheese is important to you, and there are alternatives. I love hummus. Hummus is amazing. I love coconut bliss. Coconut milk is so incredible. Hi, Tom. Thank you. So there are lots of, for me, it was creamy. I have creamy all the time. I have almond butter. I love creamy. Also, do you take supplements as part of your vegan diet, or are you putting all of the nutrients from food alone? Great question, Amanda. I do. I take a really good multivitamin and a multi-mineral. I do like a green powder, too. I love spirulina and chlorella and all of those fabulous foods. Sun Foods is one of my favorite brands. I love them. They do lots of great stuff. And I like raw maca. How is Janae? Yeah, she's great. She is a raw vegan, and she loves it. Did I get a chance to check on my letter? Yeah, it didn't arrive back, so I don't know. I responded to your letter, Abby, with the address that I saw on there, at least. So, and I checked this morning, and I hadn't received anything back. So, hi, Lizzie. Good to see you. Thank you, everyone, for connecting. What else? What else? How do you got inspired by the story of me moving to LA to follow my dreams? Oh, thank you. Yeah, you know, I was really ready. It took me a while to get there, but every moment along the way was exactly perfect, as we just identified previously. Okay. I don't know, Abby. Maybe if you could email us your address, I can send you something else. But I don't still have the address, I don't think. I might. But go ahead and email it, and I can send you something else. How do you talk to a girl you find attractive, especially when or if her preference isn't obvious? Yeah, this is interesting. And especially these days, you know, who knows? Who knows whether a person would be even interested in your type, let alone you. So a great question. And this is a totally personal thing. So it's the best answer is be you and ask yourself. But for me, I am at a point in my life where I love clarity. I love it. I love it. If you think you might want to ask somebody out, but you don't really know them well enough to know, or if you just see them from afar and you don't know them, just get to know them. Be yourself. See what it's like. Start talking. If you do know them well and you know you want to ask them out, just do it. Ask them out on a date, clearly. A clear date. So many people just say, hey, you want to maybe hang out sometime? And I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what you're asking of me. You know? But if you're clear, if you're not clear, then you know, get clear before you ask me personally. I mean, I'm saying that, I like to use myself as an example. So then I can say, with love, no, but thank you. Because I'm not interested in having a romantic relationship with you, but I think you're an amazing person, and I wish you all the best. And then if we're going to have feelings about that, then we can have feelings about that, and that's okay, but at least we're clear. We know what we're having feelings about. We can work with what comes up, you know? And then we can go, okay, well, what were the qualities of that person, or that I was perceiving in that person that I was so attracted to? Maybe I can just call for those qualities. May I bring somebody into my life, universe, who has these qualities and who's available and interested in me. And when I'm not attached to it having to be one particular person, then somebody who's a much better match is going to come in. Yeah, that's how I feel. It takes a lot of courage to ask somebody out, so like 10 points to you. I know it takes a lot of courage because it's scary. Thank you, Abby. That's very sweet. Thank you. Yeah, and if you don't know the person, it seems like you know him, but you don't really know him, just get to know him. And you can say, I'd love to get to know you better. Do you want to go for a hike, or do you want to go for a walk, or have a cup of coffee or something, and just see how it goes? And you can ask them about them, get to know what they like, you know. That's what I recommend. Okay, I'm going to do about one more question. Anybody have a question out there? James asks, what's on your bucket list? Well, you know, it's really one thing, because I don't know what the forms are out there that are the most optimal for me. So my bucket list is to continue to be completely utilized in joy, in gratitude. The universe knows all that I have to offer. May I be completely utilized for the highest good of all beings. Yeah. I like to be able to play in all the different ways that I can play and express in the different ways that I can express. And the universe knows what I have to offer. So it can bring in these opportunities and people to work with. And yes, I'm human. I'm not only human. I'm spirit too. And if I try and decide, oh, it must be this thing, then I'm limiting myself when there might be something that's a better fit for me. Thanks, Luke. My plants. Somebody asked about my plants. This is a cyclamen. Oh, I love this one. They're just so elegant. And they're so cute. See, they just come up in these little curls, these teeny tiny curls. This plant was thriving for a long time, and then I was away and people didn't quite water it, and it got down to half a leaf, and I nursed it back to life, and now it's thriving again. I am not married. I'm married in my heart to my optimal person who, I mean, everyone's optimal, but there's somebody who's a match for me to build my home life with, and that will be great. But everyone I've been with has been a wonderful match along the way for exactly what it needed to be in that moment. Perfectly imperfect! Thank you all so much for connecting. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love your questions. It's really special. Thank you. Thank you, Peter. I'm excited. So in that asking out a person, the first one was get to know them in person. Get to know them first before you ask them out. Get to know them. All right. Much love. Thank you so much. Huge vibes to you. And I will see you again next Thursday. We are connected, my dears.